Yat A Shike Do Shirene She Annalisa Rockbridge Yanxie. Hi everybody, I'm Annalisa Rockbridge and I'm going to be your yoga guide this afternoon. So I hope you had enough time to roll out your mat, grab any blocks, a strap, a bolster, a blanket, whatever you need for your yoga practice this afternoon. So let's sit together on the mat and let's cross the right leg in front of the left. I'm going to use my trusty block here to support my right knee, which has a torn meniscus. And then the block just helps elevate the floor. So let's take 3 cleansing breaths together. But before we do that, let's just take this moment as we sit here, crossing the right shin in front of the left, rooting down through the sit bones and allowing the hands to sit gently either on the knees or on the thighs, resting down to send the love out or resting up to receive the love in. But let's just take this moment to recognize that we've arrived on our mat, and that is the hardest part of showing up. That's the hardest part of today, is going to be showing up on this mat, and you've already done that. So let's just take this moment to recognize that you are here and that you've arrived, and that is just enough. But let's begin to link our breath to our movement and syncing our breath to our body. So let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest rises up. Open your mouth and then sigh out all the air. Very nice. Let's do that again. Root down through the sit bones. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill up the chest. And then open your mouth and sigh out all the air you're holding on to. Let's build on to that. So continue to root down through the sit bones. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Let the chest rise up. And then pause at the top of the breath. Spread across the chest and the collarbones. And then open mouth, sigh, exhale, let everything go. Let's do that again. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Filling up the chest. Pause at the top of the breath. Spread across the chest and the collarbones. Allow the shoulder heads to move away from the ears. And then open mouth, sigh, exhale, let everything go. Let's continue to build onto that. So continue to root down through the sit bones. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Let the chest rise up. Pause at the top of your breath. Spread across the chest. Lower the shoulder heads away from the ears. Maybe choose to sip in just a little bit more air. And then open mouth, sigh, exhale. Let it all go. Very nice. Let's imprint that into our bodies. Deep breath in through the nose. Pausing at the top of the breath. Maybe choosing to sip in just a little bit more air. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let everything go. Very nice. Let's make our way onto the mat. So let's actually start on our backs. So letting the back of the head rest onto the mat. If you have a little bit of a sensitive back this afternoon or this evening, go ahead and keep the feet flat on the floor so that the knees are straight up in the sky. But if you're not having any sensitivity today, go ahead and extend both of your legs straight out in front of you. And then with an inhale, let's draw the right knee in towards our chest, interlacing either around the shin or underneath the knee. But let's continue to draw that right knee up towards our right underarm. And then without actually lifting up our head, try to internally rotate that left thigh inwards. So all 5 of your toes on the left foot are pointing straight up into the sky. Keep driving through that left heel, so as if you were going to push the wall away in front of you. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest expands, how the back of the ribs expand on the mat. And then as you exhale, let go of the right knee and extend it straight out in front of you. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, draw the left knee into your chest. And without actually lifting your head up, drive through that right heel and internally rotate that right thigh. So if you like, maybe place your right hand on top of that right thigh to press it down so that all 5 of the toes are pointing straight up into the sky. Nice deep breath to find length through all sides of the waist. And then when you're ready, we're going to exhale, let go of the left knee, extend both of the legs out or plant them on the floor. When you're ready, let's draw both knees in towards the chest for Uttanasana. And then maybe give ourselves a little rock side to side, feeling the lower lumbar have a massage. Changing the interlacing of your hands to behind the knees. Maybe rock and roll up the length of your spine so you come into a seated position. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees into a neutral tabletop position. So have the knees stacked directly underneath the hips, long neutral spine so that the shoulders are stacked directly on top of the wrist. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose, push it down into the hands to rise up through the chest. And then as you exhale, continue to find length by pushing down into the tops of the feet. And then when you're ready with an inhale, lift the right hand and extend it straight out in front of you. When you're ready, extend the left leg straight back. Keep the toes on the floor. And then as you inhale, lift the left heel up into the sky, but keep drawing the left pinky toes down towards the mat. So don't allow that left hip to open up. Continue to find length, so as if you were reaching for the wall, window, or door in front of you. And as if I were gently holding onto your Achilles tendons to pull you back. Try that resistance. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, right hand, left knee comes down towards the mat. Nice neutral tabletop position. When you're ready, the left hand extends straight out in front of you. Maybe the right foot extends straight behind you. The toes are still on the floor. Deep breath. As you exhale, continue to push down into the mat to rise up through the chest. And then with an inhale, maybe the right heel lifts up into the sky. Keep drawing the right pinky toes down towards the mat so that we're not hiking up onto that hip. Nice deep breath here. Growing tall through all sides of the body. And then when you're ready, exhale, left hand, right knee comes down towards the mat. Let's tuck the toes and lift the knees to hover just to activate the core. Lift the hips up and back into our first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking a peek up at the hands. If we're working with a little bit of a wrist injury, maybe we want to turn our hands out ever so slightly, or for tighter shoulders, this helps as well. Push down into the pointer finger and thumb to protect the wrist. Let's look back at the feet and make sure that the heels are displayed outwards so that they're tucked behind the second toe. And then if the hamstrings are tight this afternoon, let's lift the heels straight up into the sky, high onto the tiptoes. Nice, deep, generous bend in the knees. Lift the hips up, lift them up into the sky and pull them back. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, let's allow the heels to guide themselves back down towards the mat. Very nice. Pushing evenly into the hands, distributing the weight evenly into the feet. Let's begin to walk our feet up to our hands, putting a deep, generous bend in the knees so that the top of the chest rests onto the top of our thighs. Tenting the hands onto the floor, allow the top of the head, the crown of the head, to move down towards the mat and straighten out your legs any amount that is comfortable to you. Keep shifting the weight forward into the toes. And then when you're ready, allow the elbows in your hands to clasp so that they have little weights on them. Continuing to shift the weight forward, straightening out the legs any amount that's comfortable to you. But if your body begins to move away from the thighs, put that nice bend in the knees. Maybe choosing to change the interlacing of your elbows. With the strong legs and strong spines, hand come onto the hips and stand all the way up into the sky. Very nice, everybody. Let's make our way up to the top of the mat. Feet can be either touching at the top of the mat with the big toes and a sliver of space between your heels. But again, if we're having a little bit of a lower back sensitivity today, let's allow our feet to be at hip distance apart. Push it down into the big toe and then push it down into the pinky toe. Let's lean back onto the heels to find the outer corner, edges of the heels. Let's pull up on the inner arches by pulling the kneecaps up the legs. This is going to activate the hamstrings and the thighs. Draw the tailbone down towards the mat, and then draw the frontal hip points up towards the shoulders. Draw the frontal ribs back so they're not puffing out, and then pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. Continue to grow tall through the sternum and the chest, and then allow the hands to rest gently next to your waist. As if your hands had little weights on the fingertips, continue to draw the shoulder heads away from the ears. Gaze can stay neutral, or you can softly close the eyes. But let's set an intention for the rest of our practice, or maybe just for the day. And let's begin to move together. As we inhale, the arms float forward and above. Allow the pinkies to lead up towards the sky first. Palms face each other at the top of the head. And then as you exhale, hinge over your thighs for Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep shifting the weight forward, and on an inhale, come up halfway with a long spine for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hinge over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. And then as you exhale, the hands come straight down the center for Samastitihi. Let's do that again. As we inhale, arms float forward and above. Keep growing tall through the sides of the waist by taking the back of the ribs and picking them up off the waist. As you exhale, fold over your thighs for Uttanasana, forward fold. Shift the weight forward into the toes, and then draw the hands underneath the knees for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, continue to hinge over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. As you exhale, the hands come straight down the center. Samastitihi. Very nice. Last time together. With an inhale, arms float forward and above. Allowing the pinkies to go towards the sky for a full external rotation. Grow tall through the sides of the waist. As you exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. As you shift forward, inhale, come up halfway. Draw the shoulder heads away from the ears. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, continue to hinge over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. As you exhale, hands come straight down the center. Let's continue to build onto that. This time with an inhale, arms flow out to the side and up above your head. Pick the back of the ribs off the waist. As you exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Shift the weight into the toes, straighten out the legs. Inhale, come up halfway, putting the hands underneath the knees for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold over the thighs. Inhale, the right leg steps back, right knee comes down towards the mat. Continue to draw that left hip back, and with an inhale, arms float onto the left knee or up and above your head for a low lunge. Continue to draw that right thigh back straight behind you so it's parallel, and then keeping that left knee tracking over the left ankle. With every inhale, find length through the sides of the waist, pick the back of the ribs up off. Maybe for the last breath or two, you seal your hands and look up at the thumbs. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Let's tuck the right toes and pick up the right knee. Inhale, come up all the way for Anjaneyasana, crescent pose. Continue to draw the left hip back and guide the right hip forward. Working towards straightening out your back leg, any amount that's comfortable to you. Draw the lower belly in and up. Pick the back of the ribs off the waist. Maybe you seal your hands for the last breath. As you exhale, hands come down, right foot steps up to meet the left. Inhale, come up halfway for a long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Keep shifting the weight forward and looking straight down at the floor in front of you. Exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Left foot steps back, left knee comes down towards the mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale, hands float on top of the right knee or up and above your head. At the same time, let's all draw that right hip back and allow the left leg to be parallel with the wall behind you. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. As we inhale, grow tall. Maybe we look up at the thumbs as we seal the hands above. Exhale, hands come down towards the mat. Let's tuck the right toes and hover the right knee. With an inhale, arms float up and above for Anjaneyasana, crescent pose. Continue to draw the lower belly in and up and pick the back of the ribs off the waist. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into that right thigh as you seal the hands above your head. Exhale, hands come straight down the middle onto the mat. Step the right foot back. How quietly can you shift forward, allow both knees to come down towards the mat, and bend the elbows halfway for Chaturanga. Unravel the body completely onto the mat, untuck the toes, and press down into the tops of the feet. Draw the ankles in towards each other, push down into your pubic bone, and then draw the hands back next to the ribs. With an inhale, push down into your hands as you draw the elbows in, and push the floor away from you, Bhujangasana, Baby Cobra. As you exhale, forehead comes down towards the mat. Push down into the hands, come into a neutral tabletop position. Tuck the toes, pick the hips up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking 1 to 2 breaths here in down dog. Making sure that the heels are displayed outwards. Let's look up at our hands. Right foot steps up, left foot steps up. Come up halfway for inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. As you exhale, hands come straight down the center. Let's do that again. As we inhale, arms float forward and above. Grow tall to the sides of the waist. And as you exhale, hinge over your thighs, Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep shifting the weight forward. Inhale, come up halfway with a long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, left foot steps back, then the right foot steps back. We're in a plank position. Shift the weight forward and bend the elbows halfway, Chaturanga. Flip over the tops of the feet, keep the hips lifted, and then pull your sternum and your chest up through your arms. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull the hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking 2 to 3 breaths here in down dog, just recognizing the heat that we're beginning to make within the body. Looking up at the hands, right foot steps up, and then the left foot steps up. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold over your thighs. Strong legs, strong spine, rise you all the way up into the sky. Exhale, hands come straight down the center. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms float forward and above. Exhale, grow tall and hinge over your thighs, Uttanasana, forward fold. Shift the weight forward. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, left foot steps back, right foot steps back. Choose your version of Chaturanga, so either put down the knees or stay in Urdhva Mukha. In Urdhva Mukha, push down into your finger and thumbs to protect your wrists. Put a micro bend in the elbows, and then draw the shoulder heads away from each other, so spread across the chest. Exhale, pull the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking 2 to 3 breaths here in down dog. Begin to allow the exhales to lengthen. Meet the inhales. Look up at the hands. Left foot steps up. Right foot steps up. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. As you exhale, fold over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. And then as you exhale, hands come straight down the center, Samasthiti. Very nice. Let's do that one more time, linking your breath to your movement. With an inhale, arms float out to the side or forward and above. As you exhale, grow tall through the sides of the waist and then fold over your thighs, Uttanasana, forward fold. With an inhale, come up halfway with the long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hop, step, or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Very good. Inhale to find your back bend, so Urdhva Mukha or Bhunjani Asana, baby cobra. And then as you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. You're doing so good, everybody. Let's take 3 breaths here in down dog, recognizing the heat that we're making in the body, noticing whether our exhales have shortened. See if we can lengthen them back out to meet the inhales. And then when you're ready, look up at your hands, hop, step, or jump up to the top of the mat. Inhale to rise the chest up halfway with the long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. And then as you exhale, fold back over the thighs. Strong legs, strong spine, rise you back up into the sky. And then as you exhale, hands come straight down the middle, Samasthiti. Let's continue to build onto that together. So standing at the top of the mat, root down through the toes, sink the hips into the heels, and then draw the tailbone down towards the mat. Pick the front ribs up towards the hips or towards the shoulders, and then lift the sternum and the chest up. Float the arms next to your ears and sink just a little bit deeper into the heels. Utkatasana, chair pose. Keep this nice generous bend in the knees. As you exhale, hinge over the thighs, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. Draw the shoulder heads away from the ears, Ardha Uttanasana. Hop, step, jump back, make it through your version of the vinyasa, or skip it all together and meet us in downward facing dog. From down dog, let's step that right foot up to the right thumb. And then as you exhale, seal the back of the mat with the left heel. Let's walk this right foot over one heel and one toe. Draw the right hip back. With an inhale, rise up for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Root down through that right heel so that the right knee is tracking directly above it. Pull the right hip back. Seal the back of the mat with that left foot and a nice strong back leg. And maybe we took a look up at the thumbs as they seal the top of the head. As you exhale, hands come straight down onto the mat. How quietly can we pick up the right foot and step it back? Make your way through your version of a vinyasa or skip it all together. It's yogi's choice. And when you're ready, from down dog, without skipping a beat, let's step that left foot up to the left hand. Seal the back of the mat with the right foot. Draw the left hip back. Inhale, arms float up and above your head. Virabhadrasana 1. As you root down into that left heel, maybe put a deeper bend in that left knee, but continue to draw the left hip back. Right heel, hip is guided forward. Draw the frontal ribs in and back. Grow tall to the sides of the waist as you seal the top of your hands at the top of your head. One big exhale rides you all the way down through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From down dog, take 3 cleansing breaths or 3 Ujjayi breaths. When you're ready, hop, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. As we exhale, fold over the thighs, sink the hips into the heels, and lift the sternum and the chest. Utkatasana, chair pose. Keep drawing that lower belly in as you extend the legs straight and draw the hands straight down into the chest, Samasthiti. Let's do that again. As the arms flow out to the side and above your head, sink your hips into your heels. Let's take a peek down at the toes. Make sure that we can still see them. If you can't, draw the shins back by sinking a little bit lower into the heels. Draw the tailbone down towards the mat. Lower belly comes in and up, and then lift the chest and the sternum up. Keep the deep bend in the knees. As you exhale, fold over the thighs, Uttanasana. Straighten out the legs any amount. Inhale, lift up your chest, draw the hands underneath the knees, Ardha Uttanasana. As we exhale, hop, step, or jump back, landing in Chaturanga Dandasana, or skipping it all together. Inhale to find your back bend, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then exhale as you pull your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Looking up at the hands, right foot steps up, left heel seals the back of the mat. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Draw that right hip back, left hip is forward, lower belly is in. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. Maybe we seal our hands for a breath. As you exhale, ride the same breath all the way down through Chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps up to the left hand. Right heel seals the back of the mat. Draw the left hip back as you inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, make your way through your version of a vinyasa or skip it all together. In downward facing dog, take 3 breaths on your own. When you're ready, hop, step, or jump up to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, sink the hips into the heels, lift the chest up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hands come into the chest, straighten out the legs, Samastitihi. Let's do that again, moving to your own breath, linking your breath to your movement. With an inhale, sink the hips into the heels, lift the arms up, Utkatasana, chair. As you exhale, hinge over the knees being bent, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway with a long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hop, step, jump back, move it through your version of a Chaturanga or Vinyasa. So as you inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Without skipping a beat, the right foot steps up, seal the back of the mat with the left foot. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Same breath rides you all the way down through exhale, Chaturanga and your Vinyasa. With an inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. You're doing so well, everybody. Continue to stick with it. Left foot steps up to left hand. Seal the back of the mat with the right foot. Inhale, arms flow up and above your head, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, move it through your Vinyasa. So Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, find your back bend, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then as you exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Very good, everybody. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, just recognizing again the heat that we're making within the body, recognizing the thoughts that are moving through your mind. If they're moving away from your breath, just recognize that you moved away from your breath. Take nice deep breaths in through the nose. And then if you're a fan of a cleansing breath, go ahead and open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. From our downward facing dog, let's step that right foot in the middle of the mat and then seal the back of the mat at a 45-degree angle. Making sure we're at a right heel to left arch alignment. Put a deep, generous bend in the right knee. Cartwheel the hands up and then pull the torso off of the right thigh. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Spread across the chest and the collarbones by stacking the shoulders above the hips. Draw back through the left arm to get a nice spread across the chest. Maybe the gaze is over the right middle finger, or maybe it's in the center. Nice deep bend in that right knee. Continue to draw the right hip underneath you. You're doing wonderful. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, extend past your right knee. Right hand comes onto the outside of your right foot. Left hand straight up into the sky. As you inhale, draw the right hip straight underneath you. Exhale, sweep that left arm past your left ear. Inhale, continue to find length to the sides of the waist. And then as we exhale, maybe get the belly and the chest to roll up towards the sky. Keep pushing your right knee into your right elbow or right shoulder. Inhale to always find length, so maybe our gaze is up at the corner of the ceiling. As you exhale, deepen whatever it is you're in. Inhale to come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten out let's cartwheel the hands down to the mat. How quietly can we step the right foot back and move it through your vinyasa, or skip it all together and meet us in downward facing dog. From down dog, step the left foot into the middle of the mat and the hands. Seal the right heel back at a 45-degree angle, and then cartwheel the hands up for Virabhadrasana 2. Take the torso and peel it off of the left thigh so you stack the shoulders above the hips. Deep, generous bend into that left knee. Keep spreading across the chest and the collarbones. Nice deep breath here. When you're ready, extend the left hand past the left knee and place the left hand behind your left ankle, so next to your left ankle. Push that left knee into that shoulder or elbow. Draw the left hip underneath you and spread across the chest. As you inhale, find length. Draw the right hand past the right ear. As you exhale, get the belly and the chest to go up towards the sky. Inhale, find length again. Pull the forehead away from the midline. Look up at the corner of the ceiling. Exhale, deepen whatever it is you're in, maybe using the elbow or shoulder as leverage. Let's pass up through Virabhadrasana 2 one more time. Cartwheel the hands. Choose to move it through your version of a vinyasa or skip it altogether. Remember, every vinyasa is a choice. I'm just a guide. I'm up here just offering suggestions. Look up at the hands, step the right foot into the middle of the hands, and then walk that left foot in to shorten the stance. Let's make sure that we are at a right heel, left heel alignment. So we're at a heel to heel alignment. If you are a fan of your block, place the block behind your right ankle, and then place your hand onto your right shin. As you exhale, left hand comes straight up into the sky. Inhale, pull your forehead away from the midline. So find length to the sides of the waist. Exhale, continue to get the belly and the chest to roll up towards the sky. Pull the forehead away from the inhale, from the midline with an inhale. Exhale, deepen the twist. You're doing so good, everybody. One more breath. As you exhale, stand straight up into the sky. Parallel the feet out. From deep within the hip socket, externally rotate the left hip 90 degrees. So externally rotate the left hip, thigh, knee, shin, and foot. Draw this right heel in at a sharp 90-degree angle so that you're at a heel-to-heel arch alignment. Hands can be on the hips. Draw the left hip back. Reach forward with your left hand as far as you possibly can until the left hand lands on the left shin. Inhale to draw the right hand straight up into the sky. As you exhale, deepen through the core. Inhale to find length, so pull the forehead away from the midline. Maybe we look up at the corner of the ceiling. As you exhale, get the belly and the chest to move up towards the sky. Keep pushing down into that left big toe, drawing that left hip back. And then when you're ready, hands come onto the hips, stand all the way up. Very nice. Let's parallel the feet out. I'm going to turn around so that you guys can see me. And take a nice step up to the top of the mat. At the top of the mat, I'm going to face you guys so you can see me. But let's root down through the four corners of our feet. So push down through the big toe, pinky toes. Lean forward so you find the middle of your arch, or the middle of the heel. And then let's shift all of that weight over into the left foot. So anchor down into your left foot. With an inhale, draw your right heel onto your left ankle and place your toes on the ground. And if this is comfortable to you and you can find your balance, with an inhale, lift your right foot up onto your left shin. Rolling in this pose and your knees are pretty strong, so you can place your right foot on your left knee if that is comfortable to you or more stable to you. If you like, go ahead and place that left heel all the way up into your groin. Vikrasana, tree pose. Continue to push your right foot into your left thigh, but resist your left thigh with your foot. Draw the tailbone down and the frontal hip points up towards the sky. Draw the chest and the sternum up, and then maybe your arms float up and above your head. Maybe your palms still at the top of your head. Maybe your gaze is up at the thumbs. Again, these are all offerings. And if you fall out of the pose, step right back into it. Remember, this is all a practice. Nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, allow the right foot to come down to meet the left. Maybe give your knees a little shake or your legs a little shake. And then when you're ready, let's draw that left foot either onto the right ankle, shin, knee, or thigh. Continue to resist our left foot with the right thigh. Draw the frontal hip points up and then grow your branches. But maybe it's right here where we recognize the difference between the right side and the left side. Maybe one side is a little bit more easy to balance, or maybe one side is a little bit more open. Wherever you are, just honor and recognize the way that you're feeling. Nice deep breaths here. Never holding our breath. When you're ready, allow the left foot to come down to meet the right. Maybe giving yourself a little shake. Very nice. So from the top of the mat, let's take a nice step out to the right. From deep within our right hip socket, externally rotate the right thigh, knee, shin, and foot 90 degrees. Let's draw this left heel in, so we're at a sharp heel to heel arch alignment. Hands come out to a T and reach out forward with your right hand. Continue to draw your hips back. Right hand lands on the right shin. Left hand comes up into the sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take a peek down at your right pinky toe. Place your bend in your right knee and place your hand 6 to 12 inches past your right pinky toe. With an inhale, lift the left straight leg straight up behind you. And then as you exhale, continue to deepen your twist from within your core. So as you inhale, continue to lean forward into your toes. Maybe there's a micro bend in that knee. And then as you exhale, spread across the chest and the collarbones. If you're a fan of your block and you have your block, go ahead and place it. And then use your block to raise the floor up for you. Maybe you want to look down the center of your body so that you can see your toes. One more breath here. As you exhale, how gracefully can we meet back into Trikonasana, triangle pose for 1 or 2 breaths. As you exhale, rise up into the sky and parallel the feet out. Very nice. Let's do that again. So deep within the left hip socket. Externally rotate your thigh, knee, shin, and foot. Turn the right foot in so you're at a sharp heel to heel alignment. Let's draw the right hips back as you lean forward with your left hand. Continue to reach forward with your left hand until it lands on your left shin or your left block. With an inhale, draw the right hand straight up into the sky. Continue to spread across the chest and the collarbones, finding length. Let's take a peek down at our left pinky toe, and if you have your block, travel with it 6 to 12 inches past your pinky toe. Inhale to lift your leg straight up behind you, and then as you exhale, continue to spread across your chest and your collarbones. Nice deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, let's allow the right foot to step back and come back into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Very nice, everybody. Strong leg, strong spine, rise you all the way up into the sky. Very nice. And let's take a big step. Let's parallel those feet out and drop the heels back. Place the hands on the hips, lift the chest and the sternum up, and then as you exhale, hinge over your thighs. Hands come down towards the floor. Place the hands underneath your shoulders and then shift all the way forward into your toes. When you're ready, start walking your hands back towards your feet and allow the crown of your head to drop down towards the mat. As you shift forward into your toes, use your hands on the floor as traction from toppling over. Your top of your head never has to meet the mat unless you're working for tripod. And if you're working on tripod, make sure you're drawing your elbows in towards each other and your shoulder heads away from your ears. Inhale to walk your hands forward and underneath your arms. As you exhale, hands come onto the hips, stand all the way up. Maybe you want to heel toe yourself a little bit closer and then take a nice step up to the top of the mat. Very nice. If you like, go ahead and grab your belt or strap for this Padangusthasana series, but let's shift all of our weight into that left heel and draw the right knee into the chest. Place your right thumb into your hip and then draw your right hip down towards the mat. When you're ready, interlace your hands around your right knee. Continue to anchor down into that left heel. Nice, strong Tadasana left leg. Draw the tailbone down and the hip points, frontal hip points up. We're not leaning back here, but we're just growing tall with every inhale. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, open up your right thigh over to the right. It's not going to be exactly 90 degrees. Maybe your left hand opens up to the left. Strong left Tadasana leg. Continue to go tall and strong. Nice deep breath here. And then as you exhale, place your left hand on the right knee. Right hand comes straight behind you. Continue to go tall through that left thigh, that left foot. Exhale, slice the space behind you with your right hand. You're doing fantastic, everybody. Inhale, arms float up and above your head and extend the right leg straight out in front of you for 3, 2, 1. Right foot steps down to meet the left. Hands come straight down the center, Samastitihi. Very nice. Let's do the other side, everybody. So shift all of that weight over to the right side and anchor down into your right heel. Place the left thumb into your left hip so that it doesn't take a free ride as you draw the left knee up into the chest. When you're ready, interlace your hands around that left knee. Continue to grow tall through that right leg, drawing the tailbone down towards the mat and the chest up through the arms. Resist from leaning back, but grow tall with every inhale. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, open up that left thigh as your right hand reaches out towards the side. Continue to grow tall through the right side of the body, anchored down Root down through the right foot to rise up. And when you're ready, as we exhale, the right hand comes onto the left knee. The left hand slices the air behind you. Nice deep breaths to grow tall. And then as you exhale, continue to deepen your twists any amount that is comfortable to you. With an inhale, float both arms up to the sky. Left leg straight out in front of you for 3, 2, 1. Left foot comes down to meet the right as your hands come straight down the center, Samasthiti. Very nice, everybody. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Arms float up and above our head. Seal the palms and look up at the thumbs. Continue to draw the tailbone down and pick the frontal hip points up. Draw the frontal rib points back. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs for Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep shifting the weight forward into your toes. As you inhale, rise the chest up, pull through the arms. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hop, step, or jump back into your version of Chaturanga and make your way through a Vinyasa. From downward facing dog, lengthen out your stance if you need to. Drive back through your heels. Keep the hips lifted. Keep driving the pubic bone forward towards your shoulders. And then draw your sternum and your chest through your arms. Push down into your hands to rise up through the chest. Draw the lower belly in and keep the gaze at the edge of the mat for plank. Exhale, pull the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Don't shorten your stance, but keep the length. Inhale, draw back through the heels, drive the chest and the sternum through the arms for plank. Keep the gaze at the edge of the mat. Keep drawing the lower belly in and up. Exhale, hips come up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Don't shorten the stance. Don't lose that length that we're making. Inhale, lengthen out, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, float forward one last time together. Continue to draw that pubic bone up, lower belly in and up. Push down into the hands to rise up to the chest. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Very good. Let's step that right foot up to the right thumb. Stay onto the left tippy toes. With an inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Remember, we should have a nice deep bend in that right knee directly over that right ankle. Draw that right hip back. When you're ready, hands come down towards the chest. Left elbow comes down towards the right thigh. Draw that right hip back and spread across the chest and the collarbones. Inhale, pull the forehead away from the midline and from your hands. As you exhale, deepen from the center, draw the belly and the chest up towards the sky. If you like, go ahead and draw that left knee down, but draw that left thigh straight back so you're not just dumping into your hips. One more breath here. When you're ready, hands come down towards the mat. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. As you exhale, hands come back down towards the mat. Right foot steps back. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Continue to draw the left hip back as your hands come straight down the center. Extend over your left thigh. Right elbow crosses onto that left thigh. Inhale, find your length. Draw the left hip back. As you exhale, keep getting the belly and the chest to move up towards the sky. With every inhale, maybe pull that forehead away from the hands and the midline. Maybe if the right knee went down last time, it goes down this time. Wherever you are, honor yourself and honor your body. Hands come down towards the mat. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, sink your hips into your heels. Lift the chest up for Utkatasana, chair pose. As you exhale, hands come into the chest. Left elbow crosses over the right thigh. Let's take a peek down at our knees. Make sure that they're parallel with each other. Draw the right hip back if we need to. With an inhale, pull the forehead away from the midline and the hands. As you exhale, both of the hands come down towards the mat. Straighten out the legs. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine. As you exhale, sink the buttocks down towards the mat and straighten the legs in front of you. Bend the knees so that the feet are flat down on the mat. Draw the hands either onto the shins or behind the knees. Draw the chest and the sternum through the arms to take out any curvature in the lower back. This is a beautiful place to be. Float your arms forward. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, lift the feet up into the sky. Inhale, come down halfway, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, come up all the way, Navasana. Inhale, find your length. Draw the lower belly in. Exhale, knees into the chest. Inhale, continue to find your length with every inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in, Navasana. Inhale, Ardha Navasana. Keep the shoulder heads lifted, keep the heels lifted. Exhale, come all the way up for Navasana. And if you need to hold behind your knees, do that. That's what I'm doing. Inhale, come down halfway. Exhale, come up all the way. Very good, you guys. Let's cross the heels. Step back. Either move it through your version of a vinyasa, skip it all together, and meet us in downward facing dog. Look up at the hands. Either hop, step, or jump up to the top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway with a long spine. As you exhale, sink the hips into the heels and lift the chest up, Utkatasana chair. When you're ready, exhale, hands come into the chest. Right elbow crosses over that left thigh. Inhale, sink a little bit deeper, spread across the chest. As you exhale, deepen the twist. Maybe look down at the knees. Pull back the left hip if you need to. When you're ready, keep the deep bend in the knees. Exhale, fold over the thighs, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway with the long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, sink the hips into the heels and sit all the way back down onto your buttocks. Go ahead and lay down onto your back. Keep the feet planted onto the floor. Walk your feet back so that the heels are directly underneath the knees. Anchor down into the hands, anchor down into the feet. Lift the hips up and lift the spine up into the sky for Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Keep pushing down into the hands and pushing down into the feet. Without actually moving your feet in space, try to draw your feet back, your heels back toward your shoulders to activate the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, allow yourself to lower down, articulating your spine one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. So making any adjustments, allowing the ankles to be directly underneath the heels at hip distance apart. When you're ready, anchor down into the heels, anchor down into the hands, lift the hips, lift the spine, and then draw the left shoulder and then the right shoulder underneath you. Push down into the hands. Maybe choose to interlace them or grab onto the edges of the mat. But pick the frontal rib points or frontal hip points up and then draw the frontal rib points back. Spread across the chest and the collarbones. Continue to breathe. And then as you exhale, let go of whatever you're holding on to and begin to lower back down onto the mat. Very nice. Maybe if you have your block nearby, you want to do this last Setu Bandha Sarvangasana as a restorative. So lifting the hips up and placing it directly under your sacrum. But if you're choosing the traditional bridge, push down into your feet. And then this time, if you're interlacing your hands, choose to interlace the non-habitual way. So just one pinky over, it might feel a little bit different. Keep drawing your feet back towards your shoulders. Draw the pubic bone up towards the shoulders. Draw the frontal ribs down towards the mat. And breathe. Maybe noticing how the mind's beginning to wander, how your exhales have lengthened to meet the inhales. When you're ready, let's lower down onto the mat, articulating your spine, one vertebrae at a time. With an inhale, draw both knees into your chest for Appanasana. Extend the hands out to a T so that the palms are face down. If you don't have the room, go ahead and cactus your hands so the palms face up. And then when you're ready, allow the knees to draw over towards the right. Extend the left foot out and then grab the outer edge of your left foot with your right hand. Inhale, find length to the sides of the waist. Breathe into the left side of the ribs. And then if you want to, and when you're ready, exhale, looking at your left hand. Inhale, find length. Grow tall. Exhale, deepen, whatever it is. Both knees come back up into center. Take your left foot and then tuck your left hip underneath your right, and then draw your knees over towards the left. Inhale, spread across the chest. Allow the right shoulder and the right arm to be heavy. As you exhale, extend the right leg straight out and grab it on with your left foot, your left hand. Maybe again, just noticing that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. Maybe we're able to grab onto the right foot with ease. Noticing how the heart rate has lengthened, your inhales to meet the exhales again. How the mind's beginning to wander towards the memory, plan, noise in the room. When you're ready, draw both knees into the chest. Giving yourself one last final squeeze and hug. Rolling up the length of your spine, coming into a seated position. Extend the legs straight out in front of you. And then with an inhale, allow the arms to float up and above your head. Grow tall through the sides of the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs for Paschimottanasana. Inhale, grow tall through the sides of the waist. Come up halfway with a long spine. And then as you exhale, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to and roll onto your back for your final pose of the day. Settling into Shavasana, our final resting pose of the day. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. With an inhale, draw the right hand down towards the mat next to your waist, and then the left hand on the left hip next to your waist. Inhale for a deep breath. And then as you exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the mat and allow the right foot to turn out towards the right and the left foot to turn out towards the left. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Let Mother Nature and the ground underneath you support you like it has every single day before. With every deep inhale through the nose, as you exhale, let it go a little bit deeper, let go of a little bit more. If your mind begins to wander, to a memory or a plan, honor your thoughts, but recognize it's moved away from your breath. Nice, smooth, gentle inhales through the nose. Long, smooth, gentle exhales. Inviting small circles into your wrists and ankles. Rolling over to the right side and allowing your left hand to get heavy. Pushing down into the left hand to rise up into the sky. Coming into a seated position that we started in, but this time crossing the left leg in front of the right. The highest light in me sees and honors the highest light in all of you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this afternoon or this evening. It is July 1st, Thursday. Yeah. I'm going to be turning 40 in 20 more days. Yay. 19 days and something hours, I think. Let's see here. I'm excited to be teaching outdoors on July 11th. That's going to be happening. I'm still available to teach at Rudolph Park whenever you're available. If you haven't gotten blocks, I do definitely recommend getting some blocks. I believe the studios are going to recommend that you bring your own props with you if you do decide to practice indoors. What else? I hope you guys enjoyed today's practice. I miss everybody. And I will definitely see you guys next week. I will put the schedule out again like I did. But if you have any questions, comments, or would like to work on anything like lower back or thighs or hamstrings, leave me a comment. But I hope you're doing well, and I hope to see everybody next time. I'll go, One.